Was in charge of them at the Mexico 1986 World Cup, and it's his Ivory Coast side. Wonder what the Croatian coach made of that, because his first was a silly one for dissent, and he might be called into action here because Drogba is on the ball. There's a shooting chance, but the shot is pulled well wide.
Well, the Ivory Coast are keeping nice shape. When the ball's knocked out, they're picking up second balls, keeping the pressure on the Libyans.
That was Kone's ball out wide to Akale, popping up on the right-hand side. Forces the first save, double save, in fact, from...
About in Mali, where the quality wasn't maybe as good as it was, and the lacking in goals. But here's a big break.
Big chance. Haruna Kone might want to take it himself. It's a lovely challenge, but the danger not clear, and Didier Drogba was on hand to put Ivory Coast into a deserved lead. It's been coming right from the kickoff, and it's perhaps no surprise to see the Chelsea man score the first goal of the game.
Well, opportunist, you've got to say, but Kone did well. The defence was split open, and you feel for this man. I think he's going to have a tough afternoon, Ghazala, and he actually should have done better with the first one when it came in. He spilt one just a moment ago, and he got off lucky on that occasion. You can see the running, the movement. They're trying to play offside. It was never on. Great movement, super pass. Only one thing in mind. He was going to go for goal. Poor spill, came back. Drogba, well, he doesn't miss those. It's a big start, but as you say, they have started the game very, very well, the Ivory Coast.
Poor old Ghazala, given no protection at all by his defenders. It was number 18, Hamadi. The Ivory Coast have won it back again effortlessly. This is Kone of PSV Eindhoven. Look at all the space opening up here. Akale, we've already seen him fizz one shot in, and his second is a delicate chip which needed tipping over the top by World Cup qualifying. I'm reminded that World Cup qualifying also served as the qualifying tournament for this competition. Oh, the goalkeeper spilled it. Drogba's up. Shushan shrugged off it by Kone. He looks hungry. Preferred in the side to Bonaventure Kalou. And that's a crucial block challenge, and Shushan's looking long. Turned into a decent ball, and Libya are appealing for it. He does get a hold of the shoulder. It's not enough to send him sprawling, but maybe at that pace, you never know, he could have got in.
Well, can you say that's a goal-scoring chance?
It's going to be El Taib. It was always going to be. Now this could make a game of it, but he's not got his sights set yet.
Well, we speak about it all the time, and it's a very difficult skill. We're seeing more and more classy free kick takers, but in the last 4 or 5 minutes they've worked their way into the game. They've kept possession, but they're always vulnerable, so they just need to concentrate defensively.
Shot had the sting taken off it. But are just finding their feet. It's Nadera Troni. Ramli found again by El Taib. Here is El Taib working their way through the Ivory Coast back line before in the end.
I'm not even sure what that free kick was for. I think the referee's very quick with his whistle, and as we have seen on one occasion, very quick with his yellow card.
Ivory Coast troop forward again. Drogba, was he hauled back in the penalty area? He's still complaining. The game. Lovely turn from Marai Ramli. This is a really good spell from the Libyans. Najer Shushan returned to him. Wanted to take it on his favoured left, but he didn't want to let shame about the finish. This is the appeal from Drogba.
Penalty kick. Penalty kick. Drogba was right. He was pulled as he went in.
Everybody in the world game gets represented, but this is a big tournament and big decisions will have to be made. Decision to be made here by Kolo Toure. The cross isn't bad. It's El Taib who can hit them. And
He allows people to get forward, and then he sits in, and then he does support.
Poked through by Yaya Toure. Breaks for Drogba. Oh, just about it did. Crucial challenge.
Slow. It was on for him. It came to him. He pulled the trigger back. Wasn't allowed to shoot.
Space here for Akale. Got time to consider his options. Might have wanted to take the shot. Yaya Toure. Now Drogba. He doesn't shoot either because he played the perfect pass for Kone, who can't believe he's missed it.
He got his left foot round it. This is where, well, this wasn't a chance. This was a tackle before that. But this is the ball in. Magnificent. Kone. Well, I'm excited, but I do think that Libya have worked their way into the game and are playing some decent football.
It's Aruna Kone. Cross from Zorro. Drogba. Too easy for him to get the header in.
It's a miss. That's why I'm so disappointed and surprised that he made such a poor effort at that header.
Kone. We've seen this move before. It's Kangarakale. Some of the momentum being taken out of the attack. Yappy.
He'd make a good linesman.
My eyes aren't what they used to be. Down that left-hand side again. Akale again. And his final ball is... It was Jihad Mumtasa, and that was... couldn't get away from Atroni's well-timed challenge, though. El Taib. Atroni, two ahead of him. Marai Ramley likes to get forward, the number 6. Here's El Taib. And it just had Jean-Jacques Tizzi scrambling for a second or two in the penalty area. Carly thought about claiming handball. It was hesitant defending from Ali Walid Osman. The referee thought about blowing for a free kick there, but changed his mind, and Tarek El Taib can bring Libya clear. Walid Osman has stormed forward in support. It was a lazy return. Free kick taken quickly. It's Arthur Boca who's got forward down the left, and that was a better ball in. It was met by the head of Hamadi. Effort can only be parried behind for a corner. Just bounced up awkwardly in front of Ghazala.
But as you say, the referee, well, maybe hasn't handled too many big matches, but he's done okay so far.
Here's Jihad Mumtasa. And it's in! Libya have equalised. Abdesalam Khamis has scored. The Ivory Coast made to pay for missing chance after chance. They didn't expect this towards half-time.
Well, it was a good goal, actually. From their part, good passing, good movement. They were fortunate, I think, with a free kick, but it came wide. Early service in. He wasn't closed down. He was allowed to pick the pass. He just crossed it in. Static defending. And we must say, the run-in, the header, very positive. And the coach, he'll be delighted.
Muntasa's chip into the area, perfectly timed run from the huge figure of Abdesalam Khamis. Might have taken a little touch of the defender on its way into.
Well, the goalkeeper will be disappointed. You can see what the coach thinks. He's...
The ball's nowhere near coming in yet. Finally, when it does, it's planted wide.
Well, I think the referee, in the first 15-20 minutes, I thought they looked a very formidable outfit. Passing the ball well, good shape.
Now, was that a foul on Jihad Mumtasa? He's asked for one. That's when they heard the whistle go. And there is the half-time whistle, blown by our referee from Singapore, who's going to have his work cut out to keep a hold of this. The Ivory Coast in front.
Chelsea, because if this had happened at Chelsea, Drogba will be sitting on the bench in the second half and Crespo will be running out because Mourinho would have rotated it. Obviously, you know, they're not going to do that here because, you know, there's no one really in Drogba's class in the sure player of his quality will impose himself in the second half.
How ready are the Ivory Coast to get the win that they really should from this second Group A fixture at the African Cup of Nations 2010 side? Turns the ball to Shushan, and this now is Kara, gifted striker who didn't start the opening game. Some were surprised at that. Here's El Taib. If anybody can wriggle through a gap, he can. Drogba, Adebayor, Obafemi Martins, we want to see them. And Drogba has gone through to miss. Goalkeeper rushed out at his feet. The services, however, of Aruna Dindan of Lens for quite tragic reasons. More of that in a moment. We'll just see whether Tarek El Taib can do anything here. It's a nice ball in, and then it just looked like too many Libyan defenders around him, and they could get a breakaway on here. Nader Kara had support from Ramley, and the flag's up against Kara.
Do you know, it was almost brilliant. Pass was right, just offside, but super play from Libya. Well, they would all feel the loss of something as tragic as little one.
Carly. Goalkeeper was going walkabout.
That's for sure.
Perhaps not surprising from a side who's only lost once in the last 18 months of international football. Drogba will leap for that one, but beaten to it by the goal.
Good start.
A lovely back heel that from Atroni. Montassa's calling for it to the right. Ramley might want to go himself through the centre. Eventually he ran into a brick wall. And
well, what you're getting now is an end-to-end game. Both teams really going for that second goal.
Akale drifted clear of Aruna Kone. Here's Drogba. Tester for Ghazala and Maroon. Going to the World Cup for the first time in the country's history. About to go 2-1 ahead perhaps in this game. It's Aruna Kone, but he was leaning back as he struck it. Ramley. Neat and tidy footballer, Mirai Ramley. Very good footballer, El Taib, and he's found Ramley again. Didn't quite work its way to off, and it is now an even contest.
Well, Ramley has been quite impressive, and I've actually quite...
Aruna Kone. Drogba waiting. And the shot is just across the face. Lashed. Plays his football in Qatar. Now the Turkish-based El Taib. He's a really nice footballer. Ramley not bad either, and good play between the two of them. Ramley now is pushing more and more forward towards the penalty area. What a move! Oh, that would have been a terrific goal. Off the outside of the post. Nader Kara so close to giving Libya the lead.
Well, it was fantastic football. The two player mentioned, wonderful passing, great invention, knew exactly where they were, the through pass, the quick strike. The replays of different instances, but that one was...
I'll be waiting for that.
That was terrific. The passing was seriously good.
Ivory Coast need to find their A game again. Zoro's cross, goalkeeper came for it, but the job was... Drogba's free kick. Well claimed by Ghazala. Just as a footnote to that booking, just a reminder to you that Egypt against Morocco is coming up live a little later on. Ivory Coast trying to get through with Bonaventura Kalou. Out came the goalkeeper Ghazala.
Looking where the ball went. You see him doing so well. He gets a touch to it.
I think the keeper's done well.
Well, it's his momentum has taken him over the keeper, but the keeper made no contact, I think, with the ball.
Ivory Coast corner. It's going to fall to Aruna Kone. And Ghazala has to fight through a crowd to get his fist to it. And he's off his line, and it's in. The Ivory Coast have got their lead back. A real scramble. Kolo Touré of Arsenal was in there. And Henri Michel is a very relieved coach.
Well, I think it was scrappy, that's for sure. It was really, really scrappy. So many players in there, you wouldn't know who actually got the final touch to it. It was played in, it was a strike, came off the back. The keeper does well, he gets it slightly away, not far enough. It's a header back in. Defender can't get up, it's just over the goalkeeper's hands. Get up, get it away, didn't do it. Big goal for the Ivory Coast.
And we'll give credit to the other Touré. Yaya, younger. There is still time for them.
Oh, so many parts to play.
That's Ramley.
You know, again, it's like a toe point, isn't it? Bases.
Here's Aruna Kone. Managed to get to the byline, and then he was hauled back, was it? Looked that way. Threat comes from Shushan. Here is Shushan. Shot was blocked by Kolo Touré.
I really, really do.
And you sense they may be at this end of the field that we're seeing now. Pot shot. Oh, was way into the action. And this was the appeal for a penalty. Well, maybe it was just a stumble. Let's have another look.
No, I think he's got his shirt. Special. It really deserved the goal, but as you say, I think if they had scored a second one then, it would have been a different game.
There's Kalou, but the ball drifted away from him. It ran through to Drogba, but...
then you believe that the Ivory Coast were defensively haven't been that sound, might be called upon to make one or two big decisions and certainly defend better than they have.
Lost out to a strong challenge from Zoro. Ivory Coast try and capitalise on the break. It's Bonaventura Kalou and brought down. It's Didier Zokora with a delivery. Just too high. Space is opening up now. Can the Ivory Coast take full advantage? Drilled across the penalty area. Oh, that's wonderful technique. And not a bad save either from Ghazala.
Feet, get down, touch it away. Almost a third goal.
It's the run of Bakary Kone, and he's hurdled the challenge expertly. The pullback wasn't bad. Kara. Shushan. Somebody needs to have a shot soon. Too late. Libya have lost, but they've given the Ivory Coast one heck of a scare. Henri Michel is a very relieved French coach. But Didier Drogba, who set